Okay, this is yet again U.S. President Joe Biden slapping the oil and gas community in the United States. Do you think that this is going to have any impact whatsoever on the fact that these are companies, A, that are expected to, in fact, make a profit for shareholders, and B, frankly, an industry that feels bedeviled by this administration?
No, I'm great to be with you, Hadley. No, it's just going to deepen the distrust between the industry and the administration. It's really unfortunate the president has taken to scapegoating. Now it's the refiners before the upstream. You know, look, I served for President George W. Bush. I feel President Biden's pain. Any president facing a situation like this only has two buckets to choose from. Nothing burgers, symbolic things that don't really work, like asking OPEC for more oil or investigating gouging and things, or mistakes, things like a windfall profits tax or export restrictions. So far, the president hasn't made big mistakes, but it's not too surprising. It's somewhat disappointing to see him mucking around with the symbolic things that don't really work.
And speaking of symbolic things that don't really work, how much do you really anticipate that the Biden administration is going to get out of this trip to Saudi Arabia?
Well, in terms of oil, I think we've already seen it. They accelerated the tapering, as you know. So OPEC Plus will finish, they'll sort of hurry up and finish their tapering in August instead of September. So what you see is what you get there. I think the president is looking to make other ground in terms of Yemen and maybe Iran and maybe some security discussions. So there are other things on the agenda. But oil, I think they've pretty much gotten what they're going to get. The White House, I understand they're hoping the Saudis will keep a little powder dry in terms of what little spare production capacity is left, because they may need it later this year when Russia starts to go offline due to this EU embargo. So that's how I think the administration's seeing it for oil.
And Bob, just characterize for us how the administration has handled this and what they can actually do to address rising prices. Of course, crude is up around 60% this year. We're seeing gasoline stateside at around $5 a gallon. And as we've been discussing with our guest today, no doubt inflation a serious worry for the Biden administration as we come into the midterms. And of course, a potential recessionary impact would also spell trouble for Biden's second-term prospects as well. So what more can the administration realistically do aside from those, I guess, piecemeal measures that you've already outlined? What can really happen?
Well, again, any president will find himself without options in this situation. I have to be fair to the president. I'm a Republican, but I have to be fair. There are no solutions to a jam like this. You just simply can't turn off demand or turn on supply and oil. However, this response has been particularly shambolic since last fall and begging the Chinese to join in on SPR sales and then blaming folks for gouging and now flirting with a windfall profits tax from the 1970s. So it's been particularly shambolic, confused, and desperate. What the president should be doing now is setting longer-term policies, going back to the Obama-Biden administration, all of the above, approving pipelines, a multi-year sort of bridge to a clean fuel future. Those kind of signals, going back to Obama-Biden, I think would at least give us hope that we would get out of this in the medium term. But near term, there's really nothing you can do, unfortunately. It's just the brutal math of the oil market, unfortunately.